Rahman, let's turn our attention on to a very high yield and important topic in medicine, which is the autonomic nervous system. Now, the first question that needs to be addressed about the autonomic nervous system is what is the difference between the somatic motor system and the autonomic motor system? Now, many people will answer that question by saying that the somatic motor system is under voluntary control, while the autonomic motor system is not under voluntary control, it is involuntary. But that distinction is not correct, it's not true, because some functions of the autonomic nervous system can be controlled voluntarily, and some of the functions of the somatic motor system are involuntary. So that is not the correct distinction. The correct distinction is based upon what end organ is being innervated. As you can see here, the somatic motor system innervates skeletal muscle. It always innervates skeletal muscle. The end organ is the skeletal muscle, and that is always true. And the autonomic nervous system, it innervates smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, and glands, and that is always true. So that is the correct distinction. And there is another difference between what pathway the nerves take in order to innervate these end organs. For example, in the somatic motor system, the somatic nerve innervates the skeletal muscle through a one neuron pathway. That neuron is located inside, the cell body of that neuron is located inside the CNS, the central nervous system, and the axon comes out of the central nervous system and reaches the skeletal muscle that it has to innervate, and no matter how long the pathway is, only one neuron and its cell body with its axon will innervate one skeletal muscle, and that's always true. While the autonomic nervous system, in the autonomic nervous system, the innervation is dual. It is through a two neuron pathway. The cell body of the first neuron is located inside the central nervous system, just like the somatic nervous system. But the second neuron, the cell body of the second neuron, is always located in the peripheral nervous system. So the first neuron, whose cell body is present in the CNS, it will send its axon out into the peripheral nervous system, and it will innervate the second neuron, whose cell body will be present in the peripheral nervous system. So since now we know the location of the cell bodies of the various neurons, we also know the embryological origin of those neurons as well, just from knowing the location of them. All the neurons present in the central nervous system, their cell bodies, they are derived from the neural ectoderm in the somatic nervous system. And the first neuron from is also derived of the autonomic nervous system is also derived from the neural ectoderm. But the second neuron is derived from the neural crest cells, because the neural crest cells are the cells which migrate from the central nervous system into the peripheral nervous system, and they collect inside ganglia. So the second neurons, since they are located in the peripheral nervous system, they are located inside the ganglia, and the first neuron, excuse me, the first neuron will send out its axon. The first neuron, the cell body of the first neuron, is located inside the CNS. It will send its axon out, and it will innervate and reach the ganglia and synapse with the second neuron, whose cell body will be located inside the ganglion, and the axon of the second neuron will innervate the organ, the target organ.